Hi, today I'll be demonstrating the new Asset Type Change Alerts feature in Insight version 12.5. The problem statement for this feature is that NetWitness Insight needs to display further asset attributes and generate more alerts to show value to customers. Therefore, the system should measure when an asset changes its asset type or behavior. And the solution for that is that NetWitness Insight already currently monitors the incoming asset data and generates alerts that are displayed in the NetWitness UI when certain changes are detected. Going forward, Insight will now additionally inspect those modifications for a change in the asset type. So what is an Insight Asset Change Alert and how are they triggered? Insight asset data is generated from configured sensors, it's processed, and then it's stored. As a part of the processing step, a type is assigned to each asset by Insight based on criteria such as the number of exported services and the host is contacted by the asset in the capacity of a client or as a server. The current types are defined as a server, which is when the asset is behaving strictly as a server. Also, there's a few clients type where the asset is behaving as a server but has a small number of clients. And there's many services and few clients. In this case, the asset is acting as a server, but is exporting a large number of services, but has a relatively small number of clients. In addition, there's the many services, many clients type, which is when the asset is acting as a server, but is exporting a large number of services and has a large number of clients. Then there's the many services and some clients type, which is when the asset is acting as a server, but is exporting a large number of services. Then there are two types that are not server types, which is client, where the asset is acting purely as a client, and undefined, where the asset type could not be determined. During processing, the data is monitored for a variety of changes. In 12.3, asset category changes were monitored. In 12.31, new assets that are added to the environment were monitored. And then in 12.5, the exported services for an asset were also monitored. With the 12.5 changes, the type of the asset is now also monitored for changes, and an alert is generated if the type is changed. In order to trigger an alert, the asset type must have changed, and the value before that change must have been a constant for a window of time, which is currently 7 days. This is to prevent rapid fluctuations in the type from generating false positives. Okay, so now I'll actually do a demonstration of the feature. As I mentioned earlier, there's a time window involved of 7 days, and we don't really want to sit here that long. So I'm going to go into the system and change some data so we can have an on-demand event triggered. Okay, so I've changed some of the data in the system, and now we have an alert showing up here. We have the asset type changed over time, alert type, as we expect, and you can drill down into that alert, and you'll see that we have the IP address for the asset that was modified, and down here we have the previous asset type as server and the new asset type, new asset type as client. This concludes this demonstration. Thanks for watching.